Some political ads are nothing but platitudes. There aren't any factual assertions that can be checked. Not so with Republican gubernatorial candidate Scott Walker's recent commercial. It's entitled Results.
In 2002, a pension scandal rocked Milwaukee County.
In the ad, Walker recounts some of his accomplishments as Milwaukee County executive.
In fact, the first thing I did was to give part of my salary back to the taxpayers. $370,000 over 8 years. I cut the government workforce by 20%. And I introduced 8 budgets without raising the property tax levy from the previous year.
Independent sources show those statements about the salary giveback and the county workforce to be true. The newspaper headline in the ad doesn't tell the whole story. The ad shows only the first half of the headline. Scott Walker has kept his pledge again. The second half reads, now it's up to the county board to create a more realistic budget. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel's editorial board felt a modest tax increase was justified to avoid transit cutbacks and furloughs for county workers.
While Washington and Madison run up big budget deficits, we had an $8.9 million surplus.
That needs clarification. First, there are two kinds of surpluses, annual and structural. More on structural deficits later on. But the $8.9 million Walker refers to is an annual surplus, money unspent at the end of the year. To put the number in perspective, compared to Milwaukee County's total revenues in the 2010 budget, that works out to about 0.7%. With the assistance of the Wisconsin Taxpayers Alliance, we compared that to the state of Wisconsin's budget. As of the end of June, the state will have a surplus of $303 million. As a share of the state's total revenues, that works out to just under 1%. The big state deficit Walker referred to is a structural deficit. A structural deficit is an expense taxpayers will be on the hook for in future budgets because of decisions made earlier. The state's structural deficit is about $2.4 billion. But it turns out Milwaukee County has a structural deficit too. The nonpartisan Public Policy Forum estimates Walker's 2010 recommended budget left an $8 million hole in the 2011 budget.
They say you can't cut waste without sacrificing services. They're wrong. We invested in our airport, and today it's one of the fastest growing in America, adding nearly 1,000 new jobs.
We checked the BizTimes website, and the article really does say that. Walker should know he wrote the article himself. It should be noted that according to a 2008 article in the Business Journal, Walker supported selling or leasing Mitchell Field to a private operator.
We eliminated the waiting list for long-term care for our seniors.
This depends on the meaning of the word we. Walker is referring to the family care program for the elderly. Milwaukee County was one of the pilot counties for that program. Multiple sources told us the waiting lists for seniors were cleared by 2003, about a year after Walker was elected county executive. But family care is a state-run program established by the 1999 state budget before Walker became county executive. There was partial county funding for the first 5 years, but that level was set by state statute.
Okay, so the question is, does Scott Walker get credit for clearing these waiting lists?
Well, as we said, it depends. He did vote for the state budget bill that did contain family care, but that was when he was a state legislator, not while he was county executive.
All right. Thank you, Art.
Thanks.